Sure, the shootings at Pulse nightclub. One thing a lot of people remember was the OneOrlando Fund. It collected tens of millions of dollars for the survivors and the families of those who were lost in the tragedy.
Yeah, as you mentioned, all of that money, millions of dollars, went directly to the victims and to their family members. Investigator Lewis Bolden has been following that fund very closely to see how it is helping so many people recover from that tragedy. He joins us now live from Lake Eola with more on that, Lewis.
Well, Lisa, I've interviewed a number of Pulse victims and their family members who are recipients of the OneOrlando Fund, some of them on camera, some of them off camera. But the one thing they all wanted to convey was their sincere gratitude to all of the people who donated. And some of them have made changes in their lives, some big, some small. After being trapped in a bathroom during the Pulse shootings and feeling helpless, Orlando Torres later vowed to get personal protection.
Knowing that I've already went through a tragic moment and fearing for my life, and now I feel a little bit more secure that I can protect myself.
This Glock is one of the only things he splurged on with the $35,000 he received from the OneOrlando Fund. The rest of the money was spent on the necessities, like catching up on his mortgage, paying insurance, and paying off the car he uses for work as a ride-sharing driver.
Every time I bought food, I always thank God and thank the donors that gave us.
After the Pulse shootings, donations poured in. In total, more than $31.5 million was collected and then dispersed in over 308 claims. The families of the 49 killed received more than $350,000 each. Those who were inside the club received anywhere from $25,000 to more than $300,000 each, depending on the extent of their physical injuries.
That's what is helping me be able to rent this place and pay my rent and put money away in savings.
When we checked in with Norman Casiano, we got a similar story. Casiano was shot twice and is seen in this video headed to the hospital. He also said money from the OneOrlando Fund helped him get back on his feet, like we heard from Torres.
It just filled the gap of financially to make us feel secure and that we can get by for the moment, you know, to survive until everybody gets back to their normal life.
1 year later, many are trying to get back to their normal lives. Torres went back to work earlier this year, and while he will never forget the horror inside the nightclub, he says he also won't forget the generosity of strangers that followed.
I express my sincere thank you to all the donors that gave, not just me, to the other many survivors that really needed the help.
Now, I spoke with Ken Feinberg, who was the administrator for the OneOrlando Fund and also the administrator for all of the funds for the major tragedies that have happened in this country. I asked him if there was anything unique about the OneOrlando Fund, and he said one thing that made it unique was it was actually three funds combined. It was Equality Florida, it was the Center, and the OneOrlando Fund. Lisa?